Spring pests are waking up hungry. But before you reach for a spray bottle, what if your best pest control team already had wings, tiny jaws, and a serious appetite? Welcome to RudeInsect.com.
And honestly, they work cheaper than most garden gadgets. Spring is when everything starts growing fast, but pests show up just as quickly. Aphids, whiteflies, caterpillars, mites. You get that tender new growth, and they treat it like a buffet.
Which is why I like this topic so much. People think pest control means chemicals first, but beneficial insects can do a lot of heavy lifting. In some cases, natural predators can knock pest numbers down by as much as 70%, which is not small potatoes.
No, and it's not just about killing pests. You're building a more balanced garden. Fewer sprays means less disruption to pollinators, healthier soil life, and a better setup if you're gardening organically or near ponds, ditches, or places where you really don't want runoff.
So if somebody's staring at a spring garden full of chewed leaves and little clusters of aphids, who are the all-stars?
Lacewings are high on my list. Their larvae are nicknamed aphid lions for a reason. They go after aphids, mealybugs, and even small caterpillars. If aphids are your early spring headache, lacewings are like sending in tiny wolves.
I still think ladybugs get all the publicity.
They do, but they've earned some of it. A ladybug can eat a huge number of aphids over its lifetime, and they'll also help with spider mites and whiteflies. The problem is, people buy them, dump them out at noon, and then get offended when they leave.
I have done that.
I know you have.
In my defense, they looked very committed for about 8 seconds.
That's because timing matters. Releasing ladybugs in the cooler evening hours gives them a better chance of settling in. If it's hot, bright, and dry, they're more likely to fly off and start a new life somewhere else.
That's the part people miss. You're not just releasing insects. You're trying to convince them your garden is worth staying in.
Exactly. Food, water, shelter. If you want lacewings, plant flowers that provide nectar. If you want ladybugs to hang around, a little water source helps. And shelter matters too. A bug hotel can give beneficial insects a place to rest and hide, especially in a garden that's still filling out in spring.
I'll admit, I used to roll my eyes at bug hotels.
And I still think you're wrong.
Fair. I thought they were decorative more than useful, but in a sparse early season garden, they can actually help create habitat.
They can, especially when you're trying to support a steady population instead of one dramatic release. That's another useful tip. Stagger your releases through the season. Pests don't all arrive at once, so your beneficial insects shouldn't either.
Let's talk about the less glamorous helpers, because not everything with a job in the garden is cute.
True. Parasitic wasps are tiny, and most people never notice them. But they're excellent for caterpillars and other soft-bodied pests. They lay eggs in or on the pest, and that stops the damage cycle. Not cuddly, but very effective.
Nature is metal.
Very. And then there are beneficial nematodes, which are microscopic and live in the soil. They're especially useful against grubs and root weevils. So if your vegetable beds or raised beds have soil-dwelling pests, nematodes can be a smart move.
That's a good reminder that pest control isn't only about what's happening on leaves. A lot of trouble starts below ground.
Right, and that's why it helps to know your timing. Keep track of what pests usually show up in your garden and when. A planting and pest schedule can help you avoid guessing. If you know aphids hit first, then caterpillars, then soil pests later, you can plan your beneficial insects instead of reacting late.
So the big takeaway is don't wait until your plants look miserable.
Exactly. Start early, match the insect to the pest, release them at the right time, and make your garden welcoming enough that they stick around. Spring pest control works best when it feels less like a battle and more like hiring the right crew. Thank you for listening to this edition of RudeInsect.com, Conversations with Grant and Fiona.